Reset button.
We are back, the reset button, episode 32. Happy holidays, everyone. This is, I guess, technically our Last Jedi / Xmas holiday special of the year. Our second annual. Last year we had our buddy Ronnie James on, and Bane joined us last year, so who knows, he'll show up by the end of the show this week. But, yes, as advertised, here he is, guys. Tannen, what's going on, man? How was your week? I know you've seen The Last Jedi. We're going to get into all that, but what's going on, pal? Where can everyone check you out?
Yeah, week was fantastic. You can check me out at O'Tannen's Bum at Twitter. You can also check out my friend Travis here at Hibiki TMD Twitter. And also, like it is on our channel, which you're obviously listening to, Team Lasermouth. Check us out there. All that good stuff. And, you know, the reset button on Facebook. I don't know. I haven't visited that graveyard in a while. But if you want to stop by and visit the Facebook for the reset button, you should go show it some love. I think you could use a bit more love for the new year. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe, share this with your friends, and all that good shit. Travis, my week was fantastic. I actually went Thursday night and saw The Last Jedi not only once, but twice in one evening.
Let's do it. Yes, obviously the biggest news in geek gaming culture this week. Finally, Star Wars The Last Jedi was unleashed into the masses. The fanboys were out in full force, Tannen included. And yes, you saw it. A lot of people have a lot of I have not seen it. I'm in the dark. I've tried to avoid spoilers. I've done a pretty good job. And you know what? Credit to everyone this year for this Star Wars round. People aren't as bad this year on spoilers that I've seen. They're a little bit more respectful with it. Now, I just jinxed it probably, so knock on wood.
Yeah, it's starting to get worse. I mean, I'm noticing comment threads and people not giving a shit about saying, hey, spoiler alert. I mean, I'm not really going to start talking about details of it for another week or two, give everybody a chance to see it. But, you know, I'd say that, you know, if you're a fan, you should see it by the new year.
Elephant in the room. Top of the question. First question, though. Obviously, did it live up to your hype you had for it? First and foremost.
There were some things that I loved about it, most definitely, and there were some things that I did not like about it. But hey, that's a Star Wars movie. You know, you're not going to walk away 100% satisfied ever, because, you know, everybody's got their own little theories, their own little, you know, like hopes and dreams for how things are going to go. And but did I enjoy it? Yes, very much. And there, you know, there's a couple of little surprises in the movie, some surprise appearances that, you know, like even got my nipples hard, gave me goosebumps. So, you know, there's that. I will say this out loud, you know what? And, you know, they confirmed it anyway, but still I was disappointed as they left. Still no Lando Calrissian, dicks.
I was just about to kind of ask you if a certain Colt 45 drinking man shows up, and damn it.
No. And I mean, I kind of knew it anyway, because I, of course, looked at the IMDb listing and everything, too. And I just was like, yeah, dude, they really aren't going to fucking put that 80-year-old man in this goddamn movie. They're going to wait till it's too late. So, but everything else that was in it was great. I mean, you know, there was a little bit too much comic relief, in my opinion. I mean, Star Wars, you know, should always have some comic relief. This was like every scene, every other line was a joke. Didn't really like that too much. But at the same time, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it was a good movie. And I do plan on seeing it at least one more time in the theater. But yeah, with that said, I can't say anything else because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay, well, so, other things without spoiling it about your experience seeing it. How was, like, the crowd reaction to it afterwards? Like, leaving the theater, people around you, how were they,
it was
like, salty?
Mixed. Some people were talking shit about it. Some people were talking about how much they absolutely loved it. I mean, you know, it was a mixed crowd. It's just like the reviews. I mean, you know, you're going to see people, you know, people have completely ripped this movie to shreds, where I don't think that was necessarily deserved, you know, like ripping it to fucking shreds. I mean, it's not the fucking Phantom Menace.
Right.
But
right. And even then, the Phantom Menace has its redeeming moments. And you and I were talking before we recorded tonight. There's no such thing as a perfect Star Wars movie, except maybe Empire, you know?
Yeah. And that's the original, not the special edition.
Yeah.
But still, though, I mean, it's just it was what it was. You either go and you love it, or you go and you hate it. Me, there was parts, as I said, that I loved and parts that I really disliked.
I'll tell you this
Um,
right now. I'll put him on blast. Our buddy from Team Laser Mouse Tannen, he's been on the show before. Kill Still Gaming. Those guys. He loved it. He absolutely adores this movie. He said he puts it up there with Empire, and he said he may like it more than Empire. So I was like,
uh,
wow, I need to see this now.
yeah. I mean, and you might end up liking it. I mean, I will say, like, Luke's story arc was fucking great. That was like one of my favorite parts of the movie. But then, as I said, like the comic relief parts, I felt a little too constant. I mean, the first opening scene, there's a comic relief part, which I was like, the first time I saw it, I laughed, and then when I went for my second showing immediately thereafter, I was like, this doesn't feel right. But I mean, it's what it is, though.
Is it because we went through all the prequels that they had their comedic moments, but they're tried and true. At the end of the day, they were all pretty straight laced, as opposed to the older movies are definitely comic relief. But you say this one's way
Yeah.
more heavier, though.
Oh yeah, no, it lays it on even more than the older ones do. Just with these like one-liner jokes and stuff. And I mean, yeah, like it got to a point where it felt like it was too much. I'm not saying that I don't like comic relief or I'm a stick in the mud about it, but I'm just saying that I felt like it was a little too constant.
Kind of do it like Lethal
Like,
Weapon, like the original Lethal Weapon. They balance great humor with great action.
and drama. I mean, like Mel Gibson's all drunk crying about his wife. Shit, that was tough.
I don't know why I just pulled Lethal Weapon out of my ass. By the way, just that happened. Maybe we'll review
But
Lethal
yeah,
Weapon for NES someday. Hopefully not.
but yeah. Regardless, go see the movie, and I mean, then here in May we've got another fucking Star Wars film, coming out, the Han Solo movie. That I am going in with the lowest of expectations that I've ever had for a Star Wars movie, and watch me end up loving it because I'm setting the bar so fucking low.
Right.
But then Abrams is going to be coming back in to do the third one, and I mean, still, like, I did like it though. Like, as I said, like, Luke's storyline was amazing. I will say Finn's story arc, I don't know, felt a little forced and short, but was what it was. At the end of the day, I liked it. As I said, I mean, I'm going to be paying money to see it a third time. If I fucking hated it, I wouldn't be paying money to see it a third time.
And this isn't a spoiler. You sent me a message the other day saying, because I was bitching about how much of a wine bag Kylo was in the first one. He said he's not as bad this go round.
No, and you know what? You actually learn, you feel bad for him. At least I did. I'd be pissed off too. So, there's that. But yeah, I can't talk much more about it without fucking spoiling it for you. So go see the movie, motherfucker.
Well, that's fine. And thankfully, and I feel like this kind of has to be a tradition every year on one of our holiday episodes or whatever. And it's a perfect segue. Let's talk about it again, 2017 style, Tannen. The Star Wars Christmas special. That shall not be named by Mr. Lucas himself. They want to pretend this doesn't exist. The infamous Star Wars Christmas special. So bad. So fucking bad, Tannen. Let's do it round two.
B. Arthur. B. Arthur, dude. B. Arthur singing at the end there is probably that is gold right there, man. That is Star Wars fucking gold. I just love how, like, no matter what, you can find this, that thing on YouTube in all its fullness and glory. Somebody has taken the time to keep it alive. It keeps getting circulated. Take it down all you want. No matter what, it's going to still exist.
Oh, yeah. You cannot hide.
Oh, boy. But yeah, there was,
everything
like...
from Chewbacca's family. His... God.
Whip, stir.
So many cameos. I don't know any off the top of my head, and I don't want to Wikipedia. I know B. Arthur's. How many cameos were in this fucking thing?
Dude, there was a ton of them, man. There was that one guy, that one old-ass actor who plays, like, the shop merchant. I mean, of course, you had the whole cast of Star Wars, including, like, a really weird-looking, overly made up Mark Hamill, because he had gotten in his accident.
Yeah,
so they
accident. Yep.
Caked makeup on his ass, and I don't know, he, like, his eyes are all wide and shit. He definitely looks like he, like, did, like, 3 lines of coke before they said action.
He was not ready for screen time yet. He hadn't quite recovered fully.
But and I'm pretty sure Carrie Fisher was drunk. I'm pretty sure, Harrison Ford was drunk too. Everybody was drunk and on cocaine. I mean, this was the 70s. So, like this really coked
They
out
probably
Star
filmed
Wars.
this in the fucking back of Studio 54, for Christ's sakes. You know what I'm saying? It was the 70s. You're right.
Oh, man. It's Christmas. Let's get fucked up. Star
This
Wars.
was, for those that don't know, this was on network television. Somehow it got the green light. Like, what's the whole mythos with Lucas and how this came to see the light of day, Matt?
Oh, no. I've already, like, when he finally came out and talked about, like, how it was back when, nobody was really taking Star Wars seriously. Not even him. Like, he made the movie. And the network, it was still really popular, but it was still building, like, 'cause not even all the theaters had actually played it. So he was like, yeah, whatever, like, just do what you want to do with it. Here's the rights to the characters and make this thing. And then it aired, and he was just like, you're never fucking putting that out again. Like, he has tried to bury the fuck out of that thing. But thank God for VHS, because that's how a lot of these copies still circulate of the movies.
Yeah.
People recorded it, and it survived, 40 years. So, hats off to all those people. I love it whenever I go to watch it, on YouTube, and sometimes they'll even include the commercials and some of the ones that you watch.
That's the best when you watch stuff like that. The commercial's intact.
Oh, man.
But yes, guys, do yourself a big injustice this year if you can and watch this. To gather the family around if you want them to hate you at the end of an hour and watch this.
Oh, yeah, you force your family to watch it with you.
Yep, put a sock in their mouth, tie them to a chair. That's what it's going to take for them to stick around, because it's that bad. And like Tannen and I are fair, but most of the time, but not here. This is atrocious. It's so bad. Sometimes it's not even so bad. It's good to me. It's that.
Last year, I forced myself to watch it from beginning to end. Yeah. Oh God. I think the coolest part with the live action part was there's this part with acrobats. Chewie's son's watching acrobats on the coffee table while Chewie's wife is trying to cook a dinner, and she's obviously a terrible cook. Doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. And then Grandpa Chewbacca, like, goes into some masturbatory fantasy thing. That's weird too. God, and that scene's really long and drawn out. Like, that song is like 7 minutes or something. God awful.
And they tried to do the PR move and call it Life Day, to not offend anyone, but it just came off dumb and fucking weird, like you said.
Oh man, but B. Arthur was probably one of the best parts of it. Why not?
They should have just like transitioned her into an actual movie after that. Let her be a shopkeeper in Tatooine with the guy.
Oh no, she was in a cantina. She was like the bartender.
There you go. That's what it was. Yeah, why not? Let her shoot first, though. That's all I ask. That's the Star Wars Christmas special. Avoid it if you can. Tannen, I forcefully would usually say someone would have to force me to play Sega 32X, but talk about how our week's been going. I didn't see Return of the Jedi, or excuse me, The Last Jedi. Jesus Christ. I've just been playing like the whole 32X library for no reason. Decided to put up a Let's Play of Doom. Thank you guys for the love. I don't know. I've just been Sega crazy this month with all the brand spanking new games I've been getting. For some reason, the shitty ass 32X pulls me in. Do you have a 32X?
No.
You say it was such one thing that you're like, no.
No. It's something that I just never got a hold of, or like, it's not one of those things that actually went out and mentioned. Hey, to go back real quick, just looking at some of we were talking about cameos there for a second. Jefferson Starship is also in the Star Wars Holiday Special. So there you go, kids.
We built this studio.
Yeah, it is so fucking out of nowhere. Anyway, though, going back to the 32X though, I've never been somewhere like a flea market or something, saw where it was just like there, and I had the money and was like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna buy this. And we have not had one come in the shop. I probably would have picked that up.
Yeah, it's surprising, as many episodes as we've done now on this and Hard to Name podcast, we never really talked about a 32X. You and I would totally agree out the bat. An unneeded system, a total cash grab by Sega at the time. I don't care if it was only $120 fucking dollars. This was unneeded. All this did was make the games a little bit prettier and improve the scaling. That's all the 32X was.
Yeah, pretty much.
And to go even farther, you had Sega CD 32X games, which was an even, Jesus. And
well, I was...
Good.
Yeah, I was watching the history of the 32X, and I mean, they launched it with like no notice, even though like Nintendo, it was Sega of America that was like, dude, like, why do you want to launch this over here? It wasn't doing well in Japan, first off. So, and they were like, no, launch it over there, because they wanted it to compete with Nintendo. And he was like, why do you want to release this now? And like, so they did, and it just became a financial loss because the gaming library sucked. There was barely anything on it, and then
40
they
games.
had the Saturn come out shortly thereafter,
Yep, everyone knew
and it was
that too, and that was the thing. Everyone from the gaming magazines knew the Saturn was on its way, and you see it in the AVGN videos, all the history videos, like you said, Tannen. The consumers just said, "Why get this now?" I mean, and believe it or not, I had like 2 or 3 friends that actually had 32Xs as a kid. I never had one, but I remember going over and playing Doom, and like I loved it because at the time, you got to think, guys, this is like '94. Doom on 32X blew my goddamn mind. It really did, and I'm not gonna lie. Holding C to strafe is bullshit, but it's just one of those things you got to just roll up your sleeves and do. It's not a bad port on 32X. I'm actually finding myself enjoying it, except for the abysmal music. It's pretty sad though when one of your best games in the library is where you're a fucking hummingbird. The game's called Calibri. It's actually really good. It's really abstract and weird, but it's good. There's no legit Sonic game except Knuckles Chaotix, which sucks, which is slow and shit. Virtual Racing is the best version of Virtual Racing before the Saturn, though, in my opinion. Way better than the Sega version because you could just switch viewpoints. It was tremendous. Probably my favorite game on the 32X besides Mortal Kombat 2. Arcade Perfect. Other than that, it's a big shit stain. And I know our buddy Jim from Drink a Beer Play a Game. He says he disagrees. He's got like 10 games and he says they're all good. We'll have to get the great debate sometime, maybe set that up, Tannen. But I don't recommend it. Tannen doesn't recommend it, and stay the fuck away from it. The Sega CD's even better than this. At least with the Sega CD, Sonic CD was a kick-ass game, possibly the best old-school Sonic game. Hot take.
Sonic CD was great.
Yeah.
Sonic CD was a really good fucking game. But I mean, it was just like, well, then I was watching too. I mean, Philips did approach, or Sony approached Sega about coming up with the thing after Nintendo rejected them, coming up with a CD system, and Sega turned it down,
Yep.
which was probably the biggest mistake ever that they made because,
Which launched into the PlayStation, and then
yeah,
the guy
and then
resigned. The guy from Sega of America eventually resigned due to bad
I would,
business.
well, I would have too, because he wanted to do it, and when they pitched it to Sega of Japan, they were like, no. Sony doesn't know shit. They don't know how to do anything. And it was just like, oh my god, dude, what a Todd.
I can't think. Besides Atari in '83, there's few companies I think we're ever going to see that had that much momentum. Look at what Sega was doing. They were such innovators with Sega Channel, which was awesome. Things like the Nomad that didn't spread like wildfire, but it was a cool concept, and that actually saw the light of day. It was cool, even though the battery life sucked. Sega was right there with Nintendo, and it's just one bad business deal like that can just ruin everything. You get a little too greedy, and consumers can see through your bullshit. Look what's going on with loot boxes now. You know what I mean? Give your consumers a little more credit, I guess, is my pro tip of the day on your business decisions. I don't know. 32X is
Yeah.
not good. Do you have a Sega CD, though, Tannen?
No, I don't. Yeah, that's another system that I don't have. I have a Saturn, but I don't have a Sega CD. I've wanted to get a Sega CD. I've been like trying to keep my eye out for that because there are titles that I really want.
CD someday. Just go halvesies and share it like a kid. Custody.
I get it every other Friday, and
Speaking of halvesies, Tannen, let's split this show in halvesies. Take a little break ski. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about some Star Wars, our game of the week, a little bit more holiday themed stuff, Tannen. Right here on the reset button.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Stick around, episode 32. Yep. Hey guys, Travis here from Hibiki TMD, reminding you as always to follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out the Reset Button podcast with myself and Tannen, Hibiki Quickie, Hibiki History, retrospectives, everything in between, retro gaming, and pro wrestling, not to mention my other podcast with the man himself, Michael.
Hey, you dirty fucking pigs. This is Mike from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you to check us out on Twitter at the Slam Pigs Podcast, or check me out on Twitter at Mike the Slam Pig. Or Travis, where can they find that other show?
They can find everything in between right here on Hibiki TMD. I don't really think they're dirty fucking pigs. Joy to the world! We are back, Tannen. Episode 32. Happy holidays, everyone.
Ho, ho, ho.
Sick Santa is here as well.
No.
Man, I don't know how the hell we can possibly follow up last year's holiday special because it was so fun with Ronnie and Bane and all the goodness. We're gonna do our best.
Yeah.
I know last
Bane
year
was...
we talked about memories, Tannen, holiday memories growing up, what games we got as kids. I got Donkey Kong Country as a kid, and in my tidy whities, I was so excited I hugged it and kicked my little Hibiki legs in the air as a kid right there in front of the Christmas tree and all that goodness.
Yeah, man, that is one thing, dude. Like, I've got plenty of Christmas family videos of me in my underwear, like, as a kid. There's one video I watched not too long ago. I'm totally wearing these Mario 3, like, tighty whities. I kind of want to get those again. Those are fucking awesome, man. Like, they were pretty detailed for being a pair of underwear. There was a lot going on with that.
Probably get them used on Amazon or fucking...
Yeah. Ew.
Brown stain included. No, mine were probably turtles. I don't think I ever had Mario ones, actually. I remember, like, when my parents would get me, like, characters I hated. Like, I was never into, like, G.I. Joe or Transformers. I'd have them, like, oh, I don't want those on my wiener. But, yeah, I mean, Donkey Kong, I remember the Technodrome one year was another big one. In my underwear, pictures of me with my brand new Technodrome. I was so ecstatic. Probably my favorite toy I ever got. Christmas, what can I say? Tan and I both had wonderful Christmases growing up. Our families, caved into our nerdiness, our tastes as children, and we definitely got.
Oh yeah, very much.
Tan, I know. Fondest Star Wars toy memory since we're just talking about that.
Oh shit! I mean, dude, every year I get a shitload of. I think one of my best ones was for my birthday, because my birthday is kind of before Christmas. I got like 3 different Micro Machine sets of the Star Wars sets, and I loved them. I loved them so much. So like that was like the theme of that year for Christmas. I mean, I got a shit ton of Star Wars Micro Machine sets. Like I didn't even know what to do with them.
Probably worth so much money now.
Huh?
They're probably worth a good bit of money now.
I wish I still had them.
Yeah, man. But, it just depends, I guess. Like there wasn't ever one consistent because my tastes, I guess, as a kid were always changing on what stuff I was into. But I guess the most consistent I remember more of it was Turtles being there.
Yeah. There was one year I got all of remember the mutating turtles?
I do.
I got every single last one of them on Christmas. But the thing was I was like growing out of my turtle fandom and becoming more of a Star Wars fan actually at that point. And I realized what was in those boxes. Once I had opened up all 4 of the turtles, like I was like, okay, so the rest of these are going to be those. I just the video, like I feel so bad watching it, but at one point, like I opened it up and I think it was like Bebop or Rocksteady. I look at it, I'm like, okay, yep, and I like put it down and open the other one to get to the rest of my toys.
It's not complete until we are done. I will wait.
Yeah, my dad's like, why don't you open up that one? I'm like, I already know what it is.
What about parental blunders? Like, was there ever a time you wanted something so bad as a kid, but it never came on Christmas, and it didn't like make you cry or be a little brat? It just kind of bummed you out a little because you kind of never get, like, for me, I never ever had the turtle blimp, and it's like the one thing I wanted so fucking bad. Like,
wow, that might have been the same year that I fucking got it.
Son of a bitch.
Oh man. No, I actually got it for Easter one year. But
you probably didn't even appreciate it. You probably said, up on to the next one, like you just did with your figure.
I was like 5 or 6, and I asked Santa specifically for a turtle figure. I wanted Raphael, and it was the one where you could push their heads down, and then you could like squeeze their legs, and the head would pop back up.
Yeah. Like, no, the way it would be maskless, and then the mask when you flip their head, or like the expression would just be changed.
No, I wouldn't. Not from what I remember changing the expression, but I thought it was cool because I could make his head go into the shell, and I wanted Raphael just specifically.
Oh yeah, the ones they marketed were like in the commercial is like an enemy would try to attack them, and they just duck their heads like in the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Cool. Yep.
And I wanted Raphael specifically, so I went to Santa and I said, this is what I want. And then like it was
You're
like I
so
was testing my
demanding,
mother.
Saint Nick. This is what I want. You fat
Yeah,
fuck.
no, that was it. That was all I asked for. And I was testing my mom, and I didn't get that year, and that's when I realized that my parents were the ones that actually got my Christmas presents. So I was just
Oh,
like,
no.
"Yep, so much for this shit."
And that's
Because I
the
had
year you
one present
became
that
a
was like
man.
from Santa. I was like, from Santa. Funny, I didn't ask him for this.
You know, I don't actually, I can't pinpoint the exact moment, like I figured it out, quote unquote. I just know it happened over time. It's not a big thing. Like, kids gonna
Yeah, I
find out
wasn't like
something stupid.
devastated or nothing, but I was like, man, I should have just asked you guys.
As a
Like,
parent
that's what I
myself, I'm gonna
want.
be more proud of my kids figuring it out with simple logistics of one man cannot do this. And if they're like 16 and they still believe it, I'm gonna feel like I've let myself and my kids down as a parent because I've raised dumbasses. So hopefully they do figure it out. You know, fuck.
Oh man, yeah. No, I remember when I was like 12 and in middle school, there was this one poor kid that still believed in Santa Claus. I can't remember what his name was,
Oh,
and
no.
boy, did everybody fucking torture this poor little bastard
How's that
for
possible?
having a belief
How
in
old was
Santa.
he?
He was 12. He was like my age. This is like 6th or 7th grade, man.
How is that possible at 12? Okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. You know, it's sometimes you got to realize that shit doesn't exist, kid.
Sheltered
And it was,
denial.
yeah,
Wow. Mine's kind of blown
yeah.
on that a little bit.
Yeah, it was really sad. I'm gonna have to ask the people that we went to school with because I think it was me and Jared Wire that tortured that poor kid.
What
Just with the
what's
whole like, it's not real, dude. What are you fucking retarded?
I love how you're like, my favorite part about it is how you're like, I wish we knew the kids' names so we could put them on fucking blast right here on the show. You're like sad.
Maybe so I could apologize to him. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You're gonna
I'm
Steve
sorry that
Buscemi him. You're gonna
I'm
call
sorry.
him
I'm
up.
sorry. I'm sorry that I made you cry, dude.
And
On
anytime you
Christmas.
need someone there picking people off with a fucking rifle like Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison, he'll be your guy after that. Tannen, what does adult Tannen hope slides under his tree this year, 2017? What are you kind of hoping the misses or
No, it's
whoever?
kind of weird. I haven't asked for anything this year, really. Like, so I don't think I'm really gonna get much. Like, and I'm not expecting it. Like, my dad even stopped by here earlier and was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was just like, "I don't know. Cash is always good." But I was like, I don't have a nice drill. Good for a nice drill set. So you could definitely tell I'm adult Tannen now. Like, give me a drill.
You want a gift card to
Oh,
fucking Lowe's or Home Depot while you're out at Tannen? That's easy.
yeah. Yeah, like just I don't know, like it's just like with Karen, like people ask me like, "What do you want?" And I told her like, because her mom usually makes it like themed for me. Like one year she got me a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and like I was like, you know what? I was like, just get me stuff that I wouldn't normally go out and buy. I don't know, Rick and Morty stuff. Just give me Rick and Morty stuff.
Yeah, as an
Like,
adult, you definitely, at least me, and it sounds like you find yourself like you don't really need anything because you have your own job now. If you want it, we can just go fucking buy it. We're not kids anymore.
yeah,
And the best gifts that usually come now, we don't expect. Like you say, your mother-in-law, whatever, got you Star Wars. Like that happened to me before. Like that a family member got me like a box set of I forget what movie, but it was awesome. I didn't expect it, so that's cool.
no, and it was awesome. Like I don't know what was it. 2 years ago, I did get the Wii U. Um, and that I did not expect that. Actually, I did not expect a Wii U. And I wanted one so bad, like because I went and played Mario Maker at the store, and I was like, holy fuck, now I need a Wii U. Like I need this in my life.
God, that is a
But I was
game I
not.
need to dust off so bad.
Yeah, same here. But I was not expecting it. You know what I mean? And then it was funny. Uh, Sam's wife Megan hands me these things. She's like, "Go ahead and open these up," and I'm thinking they're like DVD movies or PlayStation 3 games or PS4 games or whatever. And I go to open them up, and they're Wii U games. And Karen's like, "Oh, Megan, we don't have a Wii U. We have a Wii, but not a Wii U." And I'm like looking at Karen like, because I'm like, "You can't pull this off." And she's like, "All right, fine. You might as well open this up."
Nice. Exposed, Karen. Look at that on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no,
I
Megan was like, "Oh shit!" Like I didn't even realize. Like I'm so sorry. I was like, "Dude, no, do not apologize." Like I am in a really good mood right now.
yeah, I find myself like with my significant other, like we always give each other early. Not this year. Her big gifts she's not getting till Christmas, even though she's bugging me, but she's not getting it. This year I got like Assassin's Creed Origins and like WWE 2K18. I got all my shit early basically, so not really excited. It's all about the kids on my end, making them happy. But they definitely made out like bandits game wise. I'm talking Stardew Valley Collector's Edition with the soundtrack included, Call of Duty World War II, which yes, I got the lecture from Tannen about giving that to a 7-year-old, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna do. I have told I'll at least be there with him. At least maybe I can skip some cutscenes or just let him maybe just play multiplayer.
I don't know. Why don't you just sit down and watch Saving Private Ryan with him? You know, like it's a graphic horror film, but just to get it through his head, like, like the shit happens.
Yeah, is 7 too young to delve into extermination camps though? You feel like it's?
Saving Private Ryan didn't have extermination camps in it.
I'm talking just World War II in general.
And I was 8 whenever I went to the Holocaust Museum.
There you go.
So
yeah.
I mean, but
Stardew Valley is a cool game and it has a soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Not to
awesome.
sound like a little bitch or a spoiled entitled brat, but I do hope I kind of get a PC, an actual rig this year. But rose-colored glasses, we'll see. We'll see. If she's fucking fired right here, I'll say it. If she doesn't, I'm just kidding. I'll never do that. Yes, in all seriousness, we do wish all you guys a happy holidays, however you celebrate it and however you choose to. But Tannen, we choose to give ourselves either torture or pleasure every week with the game of the week.
Oh yeah, are we doing the game exchange now? Are we going to talk about like
we can do this week's game of the week, and then afterwards for next episode?
Did we assign games of the week last week?
We did not because we were live and we were just having a blast with people in the chat. And thank you guys again.
Well, I mean, with Star Wars being out, I went ahead and took it upon myself to play a Star Wars themed game, and I played Star Wars Bounty Hunter this time around. I love that game. It does not really hold up, too well. It did not age very well, but it still is a really fucking fun, blast everything in sight game. And that's what I do like about it. You can just run around and just blast everybody, blast everything. Like, oh, there's a bounty. Do I want to capture it? No, I want to kill it. Kill that bounty. Yeah. Like, I don't know. You're Django, and you're like on a dual pistol killing spree. But I really think the best part of that whole game was its cutscenes and storyline. Yeah, those still hold up. The cutscenes and storyline do. There's definitely. I thought that was a great game, storyline wise. We were talking earlier. There was no space battles or nothing, but there didn't need to be, because just for the point of the game, you were never in a situation where you should have been in a space battle. Although it would have been cool to be chasing somebody down and using those, seismic bouncers or whatever they were, to try and capture somebody. But, yep, that was my game of the week. Still a tried and true game. Great to play before we watch Attack of the Clones. Yeah, go ahead. How do you like that game?
I think at the levels, and I agree with everything you said completely, 100%. Yes, it doesn't age the best. If the levels would be a little bit more bigger, and I know that's kind of not fair because the tech at the time, but it might hold up a little bit better because you feel a little cramped in some of those levels, quite frankly. But
definitely.
The story is the best part of it. I remember it was released in like 02 or 03, right? And I remember at the time bitching that it wasn't a Boba Fett game, but just kind of like taking it, like accepting that he had to be Jango Fett because it came out at the same year or whatever as the second movie, whatever.
Yeah, it was a precursor for Attack of the Clones. Right. And when I went and saw Attack of the Clones, I was really glad that I had played that game. He was like, holy shit.
I came out of this game after, being initially hesitant way back when first playing it, really loving it. And I will say this on the record, one of the most, if not the most underrated Star Wars game of all time. It's so good. It's so fun. It's like you said, just go around and do whatever you want. You collect bounties. Do what you see a whole, and we're saying this off air also. It was the first time in a game besides like the massive RPGs and shit that, for me at least, because I wasn't a big PC Star Wars gamer back then, we saw other sides of Star Wars. You could see stories within stories. It didn't always have to be about lightsabers and the Force. You could literally make movies from Star Wars, other elements to it. That's the first time as a kid I saw that. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So good stuff. I mean, I recommend it. It is on PS4 store right now, Tannen.
Yeah, it is. It is on the PS4. That's what I played it on. And you can go get a copy. I think it's only like $10. It's worth it. Download it, play it, enjoy it.
Probably the most fun I had in an action Star Wars game since like the Super Nintendo ones. Quite frankly, that's how good this game was for me.
I had a lot of fun with Shadows of the Empire when it came out.
And
A lot of
also,
people bitch
I
about
think
that
this
game.
game was also a huge like breath of fresh. Like finally, something solely based on one of the most popular characters in a way with Boba. I mean, Jango's essentially Boba. Let's cut the shit, people. Um,
Yeah.
it was so good to finally get that because we all know one of the biggest fanboy marks of all time for characters is Boba. It's always going to be something about the Fets. People just love Boba Fett, man, and they always have. But yeah, the ability to use your jetpack on the fly at the time was addicting. It was really fun. It was up there with like Spider-Man 2 at the time with the web swing. Like, wow, this is awesome because you never really seen that kind of implemented into a game
Yeah, it
that
was really,
smoothly.
especially a Star Wars game. So you didn't really see that before. The
Yeah,
whole
any
just
good Star
remake,
Wars game at
you
this
know.
time was a breath of fresh air because besides stuff like Jedi Power Battles for Dreamcast, which I guess was okay, we were getting the shitty Star Wars fighting game, Masters of Terra all that shit was coming out. So this
Oh
was,
God.
yeah, and I know AVGN just did that, so man, it's a cheap piggyback off that video. Other than that, yeah, that's Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I'd say we'd both recommend, right?
Yeah, I'd say the only thing that had been close to it would have been, I mean, you did have games like Dark Forces.
But that was more of a shooter, straight up.
Yeah. Well, no, but you still had like you had the Dark Forces 3, with the Jedi Academy or whatever it was, and the other one that was on GameCube. Those were pretty good. That was the first time you actually wielded a lightsaber, and they really kind of made it, decent.
I was also going to ask you, did you play this on GameCube back in the day, or?
Yeah, I played both of them on GameCube.
Me too.
The one that I'm talking about in Bounty Hunter, yeah. So, and I definitely enjoyed it. GameCube really worked really well with its engine and everything. The loading time was great. The controls adapted really well. It wasn't till years later that I played the PS2 version.
I'd kind of like to see this brought back to fruition. And I'm not saying a remake. It's time we got a straight up Boba game, like on a modern. And I'm not talking like a Battlefront. I'm talking like just action.
Yeah, like a story-driven game. Yeah, 1313 was supposed to be that.
Yeah.
And they took that away from us, and then they were gonna have the people who made Dead Space were gonna have that fucking Star Wars game that looked absolutely amazing.
Everyone wanted that so bad.
EA scrapped it. So, whatevers. Like anytime I see something awesome that's Star Wars related in gaming, I'm not gonna hold my breath until it actually comes out.
Do it. We'll settle for you doing it half-assed. Bring back a bounty hunter game and make it open world like GTA. That's all you got to do with this. Just catch it up to the times in a way. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's Bounty Hunter.
Make it story-driven.
What are some gifts we have wrapped for each other for our game of the week for next week to play in the spirit of the holiday season?
In the spirit of the holidays, I am handing you a real fucking clinker. I should actually make you play this game while watching the Star Wars holiday special to see if you can make it.
God.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna torture you that much. But Santa Claus Saves the Earth. Boy, this game looks fucking terrible. Oh, and it is terrible. It is bad. Exactly? Game Boy Advance. Oh. Somehow Game Boy Advance, as I'm looking and doing more research, came out with a lot of Christmas-themed games, and I don't understand why.
It came out with so many. The game I have for you is on the Game Boy Advance. It's Christmas themed.
As I said, I mean, there's even a Gremlins game on the fucking Game Boy Advance that I had never heard of until tonight. And I kind of want to play it, actually. It looks pretty good. But yeah, Santa Claus Saves the Earth. It looks like it's clay animated. They tried to make it look like that. And they did a terrible job at that, too. It looks like a clay animation that I came up with. Have fun. As I said, hitting cavemen with a bag full of toys. Because that's what you're doing.
God damn it. At least the one I'm giving you is passable. I'm giving you Santa Claus 3 for the GBA, based off the Tim Allen movie. We're talking off air. How you gotta watch you've never seen the whole trilogy. The only trilogy worth.
Yeah, no, I've only ever seen the first movie. I only saw the first movie. Just watched it again tonight, actually. So, but the whole trilogy's on motherfucking Netflix. So while I play this game, I might just watch the movie at the same time so I can have a side-by-side and see how they both compare. I've seen footage of the Santa Claus 3. It looks like you have to eat cookies and milk throughout a level. I don't understand it.
I feel like the gift that you opened I gave you had like pancakes hot steaming with syrup, and what you gave me, I opened was just shit. So thank you, Tannen. Merry Christmas.
No, there's it might just be shit, but there's, I don't know, probably a comic strip or something I clipped out for you in there
I
too.
think you're actually going to come away from Santa Claus 3 not as negative as you probably think you would. It's not that bad.
I'm predicting it though that I'm not gonna like it, but who knows? Who knows?
It's not Home
To anybody
Improvement on
that
Super Nintendo.
to anybody that is to anybody that is listening to this, post in the comments below if you played either of these horrendously horrible games that we're both about to embark on, so that way we can talk about it at our New Year's Eve special and yell at each other then too.
And I feel like I don't know what you're getting into in New Year's Eve, but I feel like at least for 5-10 minutes on Facebook, simulcast, we got to do like a live little video on New Year's Eve. You and me real quick, just say hi to listeners and wish everyone well.
Yeah, I can try to do that. I don't know what we're doing or what our plan is, but
Whenever
if
you
I'm
step
able
away
to do
for a
it,
piss, then we'll talk to the listeners. That's how we'll do it.
yeah. Yeah, while I'm pissing.
But if you haven't heard of these gays, oh my god, these games, guys, go play them. Torture yourselves. Don't let us just do it. Don't take our word for it. But yes, man, you know what? Good.
Oh no! But don't take my word for it. Sorry, reading Rainbow.
In all seriousness, Tannen, my friend, my pally, I want to wish you, Karen, everyone on your end a happy holiday season. All the listeners, everyone from here in Hibiki TMD. Hope you have a safe, fun, great holiday. Hope you get lots of games, guys. Have fun with them. Tannen, man, we did it. Yeah. It's good to be back to Post-Edit City. I have missed this, I will say.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. I like doing this too. Yeah, same to you and yours and all the other listeners as well. Have a good, safe, Merry Christmas. To any of our Jewish pals out there, Happy Hanukkah. That's going on right now as well.
Indeed.
Happy
Kwanzaa.
And just Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Life Day if you're a Wookiee. But yeah, as always, make sure you check out that Star Wars Holiday Special. Get yourself a ticket to The Last Jedi. Post in the comments below, too, with being spoiler-free, please, what your opinions were of that movie. I'm curious. And then I think next time I'm going to, Travis, you're going to have to go see it. Take some time. Take the boy with you or something.
There you go.
But yeah. Yep. That's about it.
That's it, guys. Episode 32 is in the books. Tannen, thank you again, man. Check me out on Twitter at @TheVickyTMD. Check out Tannen at @OTannensBum on Twitter. Try to visit the Facebook group. It's hanging in there like a 32X system on life support, so give it a time of day. And check out Slam Pigs Podcast, Slam Pigs Cruise Control, Slam Pigs Union Smack, Never Drew a Diamond. Catch me on first thing in the morning on KFA Today Podcast. Until next week, Tannen, let's hit it.
Reset button.